Well, if we want to go straight into it and begin the presentation, welcome to the panel. Um, my name is Lachlan. I'm studying folkloristics at the University of Tartu. I'm in my second year doing my master's. And Pari, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Pari. I'm from Azerbaijan. I'm a second year business administration student, and yeah, glad to see you all today.
Yeah. And in this presentation, we're going to kind of introduce you to Estonia, kind of explain the university, and give you a bit of context and better understanding of the town itself. So, Estonia, for people that don't know where it is, it's located in northeastern Europe. It has a mix of cultures. It's German, Russian, Swedish, and Finno-Ugric influences. It is neighboring Russia, Latvia, Finland, and technically Sweden. And the population is 1.3 million, so it's quite small. Two-thirds Estonians, and they speak Estonian. Most of them, and one-fifth Russian. And yeah, Estonia is also home to many minorities, 211 different ethnic nationalities, and language, 65% speak Estonian, but also 48%, nearly 50% of the population can speak English, and 40% can speak Russian. And where's Tartu? So on a map of Tartu, if you look in the southeast corner, um, that is where our town is located. It's a town of 100,000 roughly, and it's the second largest city. Tallinn is the capital of Estonia, and other major cities include Pärnu, Viljandi, Narva. And in the city, up 1 in 5 of the people that live here are either connected to the university through study or work. And in 2024, so last year, it was the European Capital of Culture alongside two other cities.
Yeah, so the University of Tartu, I think if you already know from the search, or if not, it ranks amongst the 350 world's best universities in QS rankings. And it is, in fact, the largest university in Estonia. It dates back to 1632. It was opened by Swedish King Gustav II Adolf. And right now, it has around 15,000 students, 10 of which are international students like us from 100 plus countries. It is the highest ranked university and leading research center in Estonia. It has four main faculties: arts and humanities, social sciences, science and technology, and medicine. Um, and it also has 29 international degree programs in English and 160 locations in 40 buildings across 5 cities in Estonia. So, what is the UT's international cohort? The countries that the most come to Estonia to study are from Finland, Pakistan, Azerbaijan, Nigeria, Bangladesh, China, and you can see the rest: Ukraine, USA, Turkey, Germany, France, mostly from Erasmus exchange. So, and to make a note, the diversity is primarily in our master programs, not bachelor's, but still a lot.
Mm. So Estonia probably might be new to you if you're coming here. Um, as part of our role as international ambassadors, we're here to help kind of acclimatize you to living here. We have a blog called the ISA blog, and we'll be sending out this slide. So, and all of these links are interactive. I don't know if you can interact with them right now, but yeah, we have some advice on how to get to know Estonia better. And yeah, there's quite a bit of ways that you can acquaint yourself. So, for example, one thing is like Facebook. Foreigners in Tartu is a great page to join if you want to ask questions about living in Tartu specifically. Um, right now, we put this point here about winter because it's just started snowing, and yeah, get ready for that. But yeah, in terms of living in Estonia, so it depends on your lifestyle, of course. It's normally the recommended is 600 to 800 euros per month to be comfortable. This could include if you're a social person, if you like shopping. So food, if you want to eat out, it's a bit more expensive. But there's also daily lunch specials as well. There's a cafeteria in one of our buildings for the STEM. It's called Delta. It's a very fancy new building, and there's a cafeteria there. There's also one at the Physicum, I believe. Um, and transportation. So, for example, you have bus services that go around Tartu. I use the electric bike. So this is in the next one. And mobile phone. This one for me, it's a bit different. I pay 20 euros and I get unlimited data. Um, and sport, we have the sports service, like sports center for the university. Entertainment, that depends again. But yeah, you might find that your most expensive cost would be food, and it might surprise you, the price of food here, mostly because of trade issues and yeah, a lot of things, not a lot, but there's food is imported quite often from other countries like Poland and Latvia, Lithuania, so that's why. Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to add one remark about the food. There is like a variety of food for vegans or vegetarians in our supermarkets. So if you are, then you probably have no problems with it. About renting, it's around 350 euros on a budget, within the scale of 350 and 500 for one bed studio. But single bed and double room in the dormitory would cost you 167 euros. If you want to live alone in that room, you can pay double and stay alone. Also arrive with the dormitory room reserved and start your rental search in person. Consider distance from the city center, typically suburbs on the east side of the Emayogi, Mado River, and they are more affordable but maybe less desirable. Also, approach contracts with caution and be mindful of hidden fees or lease duration. And some landlords they prefer Estonian speaking tenants, but yeah. So these are the websites that can be useful and also Facebook groups,
Yeah.
but they are in Estonian.
Yeah, I would recommend posting if you're interested in looking for private accommodation on a Facebook group. That's how I found my accommodation. I was reached out by a landlord directly, and I don't have any kind of additional fees that rental websites like I believe Rentin take a cut. But yeah, so homeware and miscellaneous.
Mm.
So if you're coming here, you probably don't have much space in your suitcase. This is just a useful list of places that you can go. Um, Estonia finally has a physical IKEA that in Tartu at least, and it's not just ordering now. But Facebook Marketplace, Facebook is popular, but Marketplace is a bit lacking. But there is a second-hand market. It's quite vibrant in Estonia, and there's Humana Uuskasutuskeskus, which means like new use center. Sõbrad sõbrale, it's from friend to friend, and Aparadi also has some vintage stores. And yeah,
Uh,
and
uh, yeah, I
also,
can. Yeah, about the groceries. Oh, sorry, yeah. There are several supermarkets, and one of them are Rimi, Coop, Prisma, which works 24/7, Lidl, Maxima, and Selver. I would say Selver is cheaper than Coop, but like the range of products is the same. Shopping centers, there are three big ones in the city center, Tasku, Kvartal, and Kaubamaja. One on the outskirts, Luna Keskus, and Eden in like 20 minutes from the dormitories by foot. Also, markets, Tartu Market Hall, Avatur, Lunakeskas Farmers Market. It's cheaper to buy like butchery stuff there than from supermarkets. And food sharing in Barlova, Turuhone, Mestekoja, Raduse 22. So they basically have a point like a fridge. For example, Ratu 22 is also a dormitory, and they put some stuff that is near the expiration date for people to eat for free, so which is good.
Mm,
Grocery stores close to dormitories, yes, as I said, Selver, Kiwi, Coop Consum, and others. And delivery services, there are a lot like Bolt, Teletoid, and eSilver, which is really convenient.
mm.
So sign up for client cards as well for discounts and bonus points.
Yeah, I was going to add also that there's quite a few places that hand out free food for students. I've seen it being organized around the dormitories, both with the Land Earth Sciences University as well as near Ratose. And they do that like once a week or maybe a bit less frequently. No judgment about, they don't ask you any questions. They just hand food, and it's really great program. So there's always opportunities to find, cheaper options.
Um,
Um, yeah.
I can say. So the about lunches and meals, you can download the mobile app Paiva Pakumi Set for daily local Tartu lunch special across the city. It's really convenient. Also, the Rest Club app to save food waste and find offers for half price restaurant meals around Tartu. You can also cook for yourself or bring your food box with you to warm it up in the university student rooms and common kitchens. Also, check out this is a blog post about UC vegan, being vegan in Tartu, food in Estonia in general, and others. So it's really easy to find information from there more from these blogs.
Here's the section about the gyms and sport facilities. So there's quite a few. There's a few parks, and so I live near Datbere Sporty Park, and right now that's being converted into a BMX trail as well as a skiing area now that it's snowing. And but you also have indoor sports clubs and lots of gyms with very unoriginal names like Gym and Lemon Gym. Um, I would just be I have friends that have been going to these gyms and their contract periods can be quite mean that you have to give quite a lot of notice. And often what you see happening is people on Facebook trying to sell their memberships. So that's a good place if you want to try out a membership. But yeah, they're quite ruthless in their membership policies. And then yeah, the University of Tartu has a couple of sport clubs. Aura Center is a swimming center, and there's also a swimming center in Ylejoe. And yeah, we have a blog on that. There's plenty of like football fields as well, but with winter, you probably don't want to be doing that right now. Um, and then transport. So this is something depending on where you live, if you're in the dormitory, you might not have to deal so much with the buses, but depending on what you're studying as well. So the one thing that most people think about Tartu is that, it's the one main building, the building that we have on our t-shirts. It's that big old building from the 1800s. It's actually spread out across many campuses. And so you should keep this in mind when you're looking for your accommodation because there's some that are a bit further out, especially in the sciences. Um, but yeah, you can, there's bus apps, you can load up your phone, and once you're registered as a resident, you can get cheaper bus tickets. Bolt is an Estonian company. They also are in charge of electric scooters. Uber isn't popular in Estonia. It hasn't really taken off, or at least Bolt is the preferred one. And yeah, the city bikes, like I mentioned earlier, I really highly recommend them in summer. Their bikes are quite heavy, and in winter they do take them away. But as soon as it starts getting a bit icy, it's a bit harder to get around with bikes, especially on parts of Old Town where there's like cobblestones. That can be quite difficult. But there's a lot of bike lanes, and a lot of the roads in Estonia are being rebuilt with bike lanes in mind.
Yes, about planes, trains, and buses, we have intercity bus services like Lux Express, Go Bus, or Flixbus. So it's really easy to travel by these services. The travel time between Tallinn to Tartu by bus or train would be around 2.5 hours. Um, the traveling from Tartu to Riga is approximately 4 hours by bus, and about train service, Elvron train service, main towns accessible from Tallinn via the train would be Valga, which has a connection to Riga. And by the way, Valga is really good, has really good hiking trail. I went there. Also, Tartu, Viljandi, Narva, Pulva, and Setomaa. About airports, Estonia has five civil and international airports, including Tartu. Um, Ülenurme Airport with flights to Helsinki only. So if you want to travel to other countries, you have to go by bus to Tallinn first and then take airport. When flying, you can also consider arriving via Riga.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, mm,
Um, Was that? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Just regarding museums, so Tartu has quite a lot. We have some slides about some other museums, but as a student, you're entitled to visit these for free. In the photo here, this is from the Domkirk, the Tartu Cathedral, and inside they've taken over a part of this building that was destroyed and turned it into a museum on student life. But there's also an art museum that shows a lot of like antique plasters and even an Egyptian mummy. I think there's two actually. And the old observatory, it still technically functions. And if you're into astronomy, then it's a really good place to go to. The Natural History Museum is located near Apparati Tehas, and it's all about nature. And then the Botanical Gardens is a really beautiful place. You can go in there for free anytime, but there's the inside building. You can go with your student card. Um, and then here's some other museums in Estonia. The most famous one in Tartu, at least, is called ERM, Estonian National Museum or Rafa Museum. Um, this is a really good day trip if you ever have friends coming over as well. This will really help acquaint you with history in Estonia. So I highly recommend that. I worked there for an internship, so you know, really support their mission. They do a great job, in my opinion, of introducing Estonia. AHA is a much more fun kind of child-oriented place for like a practical science. Taipa is also in Aparadi, the Art Museum, City Museum, Toy Museum. Electric Theatre is a kind of art house cinema building. It's built into a former church and library of the university. And then the Literature Museum is more of an archive if you're interested in folklore and Estonian literature. And then some important bars to know include Barlover and Merku. They're very well received by the student population. And yeah, I really recommend if you are into museums and that cultural sphere, get a museum card or an ICOM card if you can. But a museum card is allows you to get free access once you pay for the card for up to a year to a bunch of museums around Estonia.
yes, and travel as much as you can. Tallinn, North Estonia, Viljandi, and West Estonia, like Pärnu. Has a really good coastline. I loved it. Then the 2,222 islands, 29 inhabited, includes Hiiumaa, Saaremaa, and Kihnu. Saaremaa is also known for being really pretty.
Hmm.
And South Estonia, like Elva, Valga, Setomaa, and Lake Peipsi. Also about the events in Tartu, we have Erasmus Student Network. I mean, pretty a lot of countries they have it. It's an association for international students who are either on Erasmus or full-time students. You can attend even if you're not Erasmus student here. Events can be karaoke nights, pub quizzes, speed friending, language cafes, board game nights, cultural evenings, and day trips. So far, we had, I think, two cultural evenings about Kazakhstan and Ukraine. I attended both. They were really nice. So I really recommend. Also, a G-Tart organization. Actually, a G organization made the hiking and also planting trees. So if you're eco-friendly and you really want to like it's a green organization, so you can apply as well. And visit Tartu website. It has different activities of the city itself, so it's not really connected to the university, but generally like theater, presentation, some like a Christmas city fair and pancake mornings as well. So, but also know that student days and Christmas market they are entrance free, so you can just come and have fun. So check out the Window of Culture page for more events.
Yeah. Tartu has like roughly three or four main markets around the year as well. So there's like Hansalat, Lat is like market. But yeah, there's always events happening. And this photo you can see here on the right, that was from last year. And right now they're setting up like an ice rink in the town square, Raikoja. And this whole area is going to become a Christmas village in the next couple days. This is a little slide about us, just to explain us a bit better. So, yeah, since 2012, we've been here, and we're a mix of bachelor's, master's, and PhD students. And right now, the photo that's there is our current group. We have quite a lot, and we have a really nice range of areas covered. Um, and yeah, we run the Instagram. We actually have a new Instagram account too that we just set up for the ambassadors specifically. And if you want to kind of get a bit more of a behind the scenes look at student life, that's kind of um, where I'd recommend you go. We also run programs such as shadowing. If you want to live in the life of a student, you can do that in person, like for a day, like join along. And yeah, we also been going for 2012, since 2012. Um, I this if there's one thing that really I could recommend to taking away from this presentation is go and read the blog. Go and spend some time looking at some of the articles. Again, it's what nearly 13 years of content related specifically to student life in Estonia, and it is really useful. There's some great blogs about like health, things about food, like I was saying about like being vegan. Um, I'm writing an article which is more about my interest, about like uh, folkloric holidays and also like the queer community in Tartu and like what it looks like at the moment. But there's a whole range of topics, so I really recommend. It's a really underutilized resource that makes life a lot more easier living here.
Yeah, so we also have a Facebook. If you're more of a Facebook user, there are frequent posts with useful tips, work or study, and shows the environment in which university students are working in, different events, news about UT and Estonia, and different celebrations. Also, we post new updates on blog posts, so you can access from there as well. And you can message us via the Facebook chat if you have any questions. Also, the Instagram page, UniTartu, you can meet the new ISA team, know what our students are looking forward to, and also, yeah, this is the topics that we cover. Virtual Open Day, Tixu, Explore Starter Observatory, and stuff like that. Also, we have a podcast on Spotify about Tixu to UniTartu. It talks about like daily life, different misconceptions, and it's also with different people and how their perspective changed when they came to Estonia, like international students. So make sure to check out that too because it's really interesting. I think with the +2 blog post, this will give more a bigger picture for you to
Yeah.
understand.
And this season specifically had a really good budget. It's all like been recorded, so if you want to watch it on your laptop or something, I was really impressed. I was interviewed for one of these, and it was such a professional like podcast. Um,
And
yeah.
oh, yes,
Uh,
these are the useful and contacts and support about visa if you're not sure how you should fill it out. This is the site. Then admissions office, study abroad center, post and border guard board for your TRP, Tartu student residency, and yeah, welcome center plus international house
sorry.
of Estonia. Yeah,
Um, and yeah, thank you for joining us. Now we can get onto questions.
yeah.
Apologies for not getting to any now. But yeah, Tartu is a very cozy student city, and it really is suitable. So, okay, one of the questions, yeah, we want to make sure we'll send out the slides
Mhm.
at the end so that you can access all of the links. And we do have like some frequently asked questions as well about, so for example, one question is, do we work while studying? And Pari, do you want to talk first about that?
I think, yeah, I mean, you can find work mostly online if you like Estonian language, so it's like freelance work, but you can also find job on the university at the university. So I think it's not the problem. I think,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, I was working with the ambassadors actually last year as like a part-time job, and then I was trying to do like some freelancing work in Estonia last year. Um, I would probably recommend trying to find some kind of supplementary income, but the recommendation is always that like you kind of balance studies, um, and then. Yeah, you can. I believe you can work. I don't. Uh, for me, I have a visa, so
Mm.
not visa, citizenship. So it's a bit different. Um, and then I just want to talk quickly about Estonian. So the language, when you do your degree, you'll have to do 1 unit of or 6 credit units of a language course to introduce yourself with the language. So. I would suggest, because from all of my friends, I have Estonian background, so I came into it with a bit of ease. Um, it can be a bit difficult when you learn it, and this could be one of the first classes that really stresses you out. I really recommend if you're committed to coming to Estonia, just start like using some apps. One of them I can recommend is Speakly, for example. It's Estonian's not on Duolingo, but it will really help just make it more approachable for you. And it's yeah, it shouldn't stress you out. And I think it's really nice to start to learn how to speak Estonian because it does help you get by, even in the shops if you're buying groceries.
Yeah, also wanted to add about the Estonian language. For me, it was completely new when I started learning it in the university. And one thing that I can say, choose your, I would say, lecturer wisely because mine was just amazing teacher. I wanted to learn Estonian. She really gave me the will, let's say, to learn the language. So this is really important. So make sure to find a really good teacher.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um, we have a couple more questions if nobody from our chat.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I can access them.
uh-huh.
Okay, so wait. Yes, about concern is the winter time, dark for a month. Okay, so how do we manage to keep our physical and mental health during that period and university support? University provides therapy, like psychological support, plus you can always take supplements, vitamin D supplements.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I think mostly this. I wouldn't say that it's not that it's really like I come from a very sunny country too, from Azerbaijan, and for me it was a bit hard the first year, but I wouldn't say that it's that hard when you are overworked, you won't really feel that.
Yeah, the I also so I yeah come from Australia, and it was quite a shock to me dealing with the winter. Um, right now, I think it's about 0 degrees Celsius, and it does yeah get into the minus. Houses are typically quite good for it in terms of like practically like surviving winter. You shouldn't feel cold in your house. However, yeah, it can, especially if you're coming from a country either quite far from home, you're far from home. Um, but one thing to keep an eye out for is flight tickets are very cheap in this region to other places in this region. So, for example, this weekend I'm going to Stockholm for 30 euros there and back. So, if you need like a bit of an escape or something, not that going on holidays is always the best way to deal, but I could just say that it does help, like that you don't feel trapped sometimes. And it is a small town. But I think the beauty of it being a small town is that everyone knows each other, and there is like a very strong like student community here. Um, and yeah, especially if you reach out to the Estonian students, you'll very quickly create a network to deal with that loneliness.
Yes, this the second question is about business administration program. Um, how are the studies for you? Is it hard to pass economics and math related courses? So I would say at first you may find it a bit challenging, and especially for me, I didn't have a like economics course in high school, so for me it was a bit challenging. But I wouldn't say that it's really hard. It just you need to really like grasp knowledge, and if you have any questions, the lecturer would always answer. You can write the email; the person would always answer, maybe in an hour, but still they will always answer. And if you don't pass an exam, well, if you don't pass an exam, there's always a retake, and if you don't pass the retake, you can take the exam next year and the course again. So it's not that you are being excluded, like you are being you can go and take other courses if you failed one. So it's not big of a deal. And to retake it, I think it usually after maybe 3 weeks from the first exam. I'm not sure, but in this range to make a retake. So yeah,
Mm. We
yeah,
have
and
yeah, a
yeah.
question about the relationship to professors and students. Um, I yeah would like to say that yeah the relationships here are really more casual than I expected. The professors, in my opinion, from the folklore and the Institute of Cultural Research, they're super friendly. You're able to go up to them whenever. There isn't maybe a culture of hierarchy in Estonia, in my opinion. I think there is like a cultural difference there that genuinely you are able to approach people, particularly because of the size of Estonia. For example, one of my teachers for a course taught by the political science department was the education minister. And I got to go and talk to the education minister after class. Like it was really amazing experience to do that. So um, there is also the flip side that it can be super casual where you may there's a sauna culture in Estonia, and sometimes the departments and faculties do like social events where you go to a sauna, and typically, at least the Estonian teachers, professors may be naked. You might even I've been naked around my professors too, and for me it was still a learning process, and you know. there is a drinking culture here, so you might drink with your professor or your supervisor. And then you talk.
Yeah, can I also add about the professor and student? So basically, it's a really friendly environment, and professor is not gonna look down on you if there is a big gap, like difference in age. It would always listen to maybe your thoughts and even engage in the conversation, so you don't have to be afraid that he will, I don't know, joke around or something. He'll take it seriously and help you in any case. So yeah, and one thing that you should learn is that it's really sauna all the time. Sauna in Estonia is like all the time. So yeah.
Honestly, that helps me with dealing with the cold too.
Oh
So,
yeah, true.
I would recommend, you're probably, familiar with the onsens. I recommend embracing the sauna culture, to help with the winter. The only other thing was, maybe if there's no other questions from our viewers, maybe like just culture shocks, Pari, if we have any that like
Culture shocks. I think Estonia is like small talk. I'm not a bit like a fan of small talks. So every time entering a classroom and just like saying hi, hi, like and that's it. So it was like yeah, and I mean if you were a bit introverted it would be a bit problem too, but other than that I wouldn't say I have much of cultural shocks there. So yeah,
that's
if you could
interesting. I would have
yeah.
I would have said that most Estonians would call themselves more introverted
Mm,
in like I would say that if you like a more quiet life that um it can be quite nice here because when you go to the shops, for example, at least in Australia, everyone's asking you how you're going,
mhm.
how's your day. Here, you get none of that. It's pure silence at the shops. And it can be hard if you want to learn your Estonian and practice it there, but um I think culture shocks is Estonians will love to try and speak English with you if they can. Um, so also might be hard to learn more. And I think, yeah, I forget how much I like winter once I'm in summer. Like
Mhm.
I, and then I realize when I'm in winter, I don't like it anymore. And it's kind of a love and hate relationship that the summers here can be really beautiful too, but also quite warm. Even if
Yeah,
yeah.
about winter actually. Um, when it's snowing, like when I first came to Estonia, I thought that it's gonna be really, really cold. But even if it's like negative degree, it's kind of it's not cold. Like you don't feel that much cold. You don't even need like a hat that much. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like it may be negative, but it's still kind of it's like it's fine. Like I
Yeah.
can address it. So yeah.
Yeah. Tartu is a bit colder than Tallinn, but other than that, it's as long as you layer, and if you bring
Yeah.
anything from home, bring some like thermal underwear and stuff that can really help. Just remember to layer.
Yeah, and good boots because it can be really slippery.
Yeah, definitely. Um, if we don't have any more questions, and then we might wrap up our presentation here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Please feel free to email the ISA, ISA, also the links that we'll send out if there's more questions specific to tuitions or program details. And also on the ISA website, you can reach out to us directly if you have program specific questions that you want a student ambassador to answer. And we have, I think this year, I think there's like 20 plus ambassadors. It's quite a lot. Um, so yeah, I really recommend we're here for you to make use of. So please.
Yeah, and once more about the shadowing project, if you are around the Estonia, like in a country near Estonia or something, it would be probably easier for you to commute to Estonia and do the project. But it's really good because you will like literally dive into what you expect. So it's not like you wouldn't think and make like overthink stuff. You will just see how it is
Mm.
and understand for yourself if you want to apply or not. So it's really good thing to do.
Yeah, definitely. And there's also the Open Doors Day that happens a
Mhm.
bit later. That's another way that you can come in person and be
Yeah, and
acquainted.
also tours around the campuses. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe just one little anecdote. So before I came to study here, I actually organized a meeting with the program director um, before I was enrolled and before I'd even submitted application, just to ask them some questions in person about the program. And yeah, I know it's not always an option for everyone, but you could even try doing a Zoom call with the program organizers. And yeah, again, the hierarchy here, it's very accessible to reach out to people in Estonia.
Yeah. Oh, there is one more question. No. Yes, thank you too. I hope this was really informative and
Yeah. All right.
okay, yeah, we'll see you next year then.
Yeah.
Great.
Best of luck.
Yeah, best of luck.